Hey guys, it's Roger again, and we have a box opening today. Of course, it's Monday. It's hot out. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Maybe we could edit that out later. We had a job lined up for today. It was a pretty big job, $6,500, and the customer, everything I have it in writing, signed the contract, decided he didn't want to do the job. So anyway, we left the job and I sold another one, and I'm making more money in less time. So if you ever come up on a job, and trust me, you're doing them a favor. They're not doing you any favors. If you're licensed insured workers' comp, been doing it 25 years, and you're the best in the business, you're doing them a favor. So don't get discouraged. Give someone else your professionalism. And also too, it's nice to be appreciated when you get hired by someone that appreciates your work and how good you are. It's awesome. So we ended up landing another job tomorrow, and it's a lot easier job. We're not going to need a crane, not going to need a bucket truck, and we're going to make probably more money on this job. So needless to say, I'm happy. But you guys remember we purchased a small Husqvarna. I think it's like a 120. It ran really good. We used it on a job, but for some reason it wouldn't start back up. I gave it a few chances. I took it on a few more jobs, and we just couldn't get the thing to start. If you did get it to start, it would run fine. Then it would stall. And if you let it sit for any length of time, you couldn't start it again. I didn't take it apart. It could have been a spark plug issue or something, but it was still under warranty. So I decided to take it back. It had a little bit less power than the one I had before, so it wasn't really worth keeping. I don't know what the new saws, what they're doing to them, but Steel and Husky, they're ruining the saws. So when I took it back, they gave me $250 for it, and I saw that they had one of these. So I purchased it. I guess I could turn it over. This is the last one I bought on Amazon, and I've got 3 of these. I've got 2 or 3 blowers. I have a hedge trimmer. I've got weed eaters, I've got pole saws, until they come out with something better. These right here are the ticket, and the batteries last a while. I've had these batteries like 3 or 4 years, and they have not let me down. So I had to put $50 with it, and I ended up getting another battery saw. And if you've been in business, you've used saws for as long as I have. Anything that you have no maintenance on, hardly any maintenance, that's the ones that you want to keep and keep buying. Okay, this comes with a battery. It's got 1 bar. This is I think it's like a 80 volt. I'm not sure how many amp hours, 2 amp hours or something. And comes with a charger. So this right here, just the battery and charger alone are worth $100. So I think you can do like 150 cuts. Like say you have a 4x4, about 150 cuts just with one battery. So to me, this right here is worth it, because I have plenty of other tools, best hedge trimmers I've ever had from this company. Of course, it comes with your power head, comes with your bar and chain and your cover. It's a little bit different than the other one I had. Comes with your saw wrench and instruction manual. And that's it. So the rest is an empty box. So we're gonna throw this off to the side. And I'm gonna, I guess, read off the box a little bit here. If you guys are interested in electric saw and you don't want to spend an arm and a leg, if you can afford $300, I think this is the way to go. Greenworks 80 volt lithium max 16-inch cordless chainsaw. I think my other one is 18, so this is a little bit shorter, but really 16 is fine. Let's see. These are all the other products they make. I have the chainsaw. I have the hedge trimmers. Hedge trimmers are awesome. Pole saw is okay for homeowners. Weed eater's okay. I haven't tried the lawnmower, either lawnmower yet. The snow blower, I don't know, and the little snow blower. But as far as hedge trimmers go, man, these are awesome. I have used a lot of hedge trimmers, and the electric one is far superior. I just wish they made one that was on a stick. They don't have a stick hedge trimmer, and the blowers are awesome. We've been using the blowers for years. Hedge trimmers, weed eaters are okay. Chainsaws are pretty decent. What's nice about these saws is you don't have to worry about anything. I mean, all you do is pour bar oil in them and go. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this thing together. And I also got, if you guys need a gas can, these are awesome. These no spill button makes it easy. 2.5 gallon gas cans are awesome. This is all we use. What's nice is if you go to your steel dealer or whatever, they make the oil 2-stroke packs. You dump them in, you fill it up. I usually fill it up to here because I mix it a little bit richer than you're supposed to. I think it's like 50 to 1. I mix mine like 40 to 1 just to be sure. And then, yeah, this is awesome. And you just, I'm sure you guys have used these, but you can control how much gas so you don't always spill it, which saves a lot over the year. So yeah, these are awesome gas tanks. Pretty solid. They last a while. The only thing that goes bad is this piece here. So if anybody knows where to get these, this piece, that's the only part that usually goes bad. This entire piece, if you can order that separate, or this nozzle. But just remember, I always forget to take this off, and then I fill the fuel up to here, and then I make a mess. So make sure you always take that off. Don't forget. All right, let's put this thing together. Just like a regular chainsaw, you just loosen up the side bolts, and you're going to be surprised when you guys open this up how simple it is. These things are super simple, and they last a while. And the only thing I wish it did, let me see. Is hold on to the nuts. Oh, it does. All right, cool. These are fastened on to the side cover. That is one of the best things that they ever did, was make those side cover nuts so you couldn't lose them. But look how simple this is. Look at this sprocket. See how thick it is? That is crazy. So this thing, for a homeowner, I doubt you ever wear that sprocket out. If you do, you're going to get so much use. So there's no clutch, there's no anything to go wrong except that little piece right there. And I guarantee you this is going to last longer than any other clutch or any other sprocket you had, because look at the thickness on that sucker. The only problem with these, of course, is battery. The batteries don't last that long, but if you're only making a few cuts, or if you have extra batteries, these are awesome. These are good for, like, if you're doing a crane job and you're just making a few cuts. You don't have to make, these aren't good for firewood. If you guys are doing firewood and you're continuously cutting, it's not going to work for you. But if you need to get in, get out, make a few cuts, cut them just a few. I've done a few of these jobs just with this saw. Small trees, I cut them in like 6 or 8, 10 pieces and get on with it. So there's not really much to these saws. Super simple. And I just have to adjust this a little bit. So let's see where we at. Okay, need to back it up. I don't know if you guys are seeing this or not, but I'm just see this adjuster right here? It's adjust out. I got to adjust it back. I'm going counterclockwise until that little nipple falls through that hole, and then I'll start tightening. Make sure, there it goes. See how that nipple falls right in there? And then of course now it's too loose. Make sure your chain is all the way in the slot before you start tightening. Maybe. There we go. All right, make sure it's nice and tight up against your sprocket. And then you start tightening clockwise. And you can over tighten this a little bit just to hold it in place until you get your side cover on. There we go. Now the reason I do that is to hold everything in place. Also too, when you first put on a brand new chain, it's going to stretch a little bit. So it's going to be a little bit tighter than normal. You go ahead and tighten it pretty tight. Then you run it a little while, and then that chain will loosen up, get this, and then it'll stretch a little bit. And another thing too, never reach down here and crank on this. You should always be able to tighten this right from here. Because what happens is when these guys, they tighten it so tight, what it'll do is it'll pull those studs right out of the saw. And then you'll have a whole nother problem. You have to retap and re-put these studs back in the saw. And sometimes they never hold quite right. You have to go up a size or something. So always make sure when you're tightening, you just tighten from down here. Do not crank on this. The only time you crank on it is just to loosen them. Because some of these guys out here over tighten these side covers. That's why they got 2 bolts, 2 nuts. So each one can get a little snug. That's it. You're done. Leave it alone. There you go. 16-inch bar. You got your little cover. So these covers are kind of tight, but at least they don't fall off. So just be careful when you put them on. And here's your battery pack. The only thing I haven't done, which they didn't include, I did not put bar oil in here. You just give it a good spanking, and there you go. You're ready to go. All you got to do is put a little bar oil right there. That's the only place you have to do anything. But they changed this. This one now has a multiple part. See, I don't like that. This used to be simple. Now they made it chintzy. I don't like that. They're trying to make it fancy. The old ones you just screwed out. These, yeah, you just basically stick that in there, and then it keeps it. I like the other ones, like the Husqvarna style. You got to pinch them. This one can come out sometimes, but anyway, my old one I like better. It's just got, I think, a regular screw-on cap. This one here is going to have issues. I don't know why they try to make these gas covers and oil bar chain covers so dainty and so cute. All right, see, it just, okay, it does spin on, but it's got some kind of cutesy little thing which I think is going to break. So that's probably something you're going to have to be careful with or buy some more of, because if you use this all the time, that is going to break. But other than that, they're awesome saws. They all you got to do is turn on that power button and hold it. And that's it. Chain brake. Still a little tight. I'm going to loosen it up a little bit. Of course, there's no bar oil either, so that's going to make a huge difference as well. So tomorrow I'm going to put a little bar chain oil in there, and that'll loosen it up too. So I'm just going to give it a little loosen up there. Just give it a little bit of slop, and then tomorrow I will put a little bar chain oil on that sucker. But I've used these saws for years, and the only time they ever failed me was in a downpour. There was so much water getting into the battery compartment and it stopped working. But I left it dry out, put it in front of a fan. As soon as it dried out, it started working again. So just as loud as they get. So it's cool too. You can do tree work and not bother anybody. I mean, what other chainsaw can you run in your house inside a condo or apartment and nobody even complains? So anyway, don't give me any ideas. So this is Roger with Roger's Reviews, and this is the Greenworks Pro 80 volt system for $2.99. Picked this one up at Tractor Supply. It's not going to replace the gas yet because the battery technology isn't quite there. But in the future, these batteries are getting better and better. Power density is getting better and better. So you can see in a few years, this thing doubling or tripling the capacity, and you're going to see a lot of guys starting to use these electric saws more and more and more because there's just hardly any maintenance to them, and they're just so convenient, and they always work. So no carburetor work, no special additives, just charge it up and go. If you like this video, crush the like button, and we'll bring you more ways to make your life a little easier when you're a tree guy. The most important thing when you're in a tree business is to buy tools that make your job easier, because you can't always rely on other people. You got to rely on your tools. So you buy the best tools you can with the money you have to make your life easier and your job easier. That's the only thing you can count on in this world, is tools that make your life easier. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless. Be safe.